Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome back. In this video, I'm gonna talk about, of course, it's this last tournament of the year. It's the World Tour Finals, ATP Nitto Finals 2020 that is held for the last time at London. And this year, the groups have two different names again. It's the 1970 Tokyo group and the London 2020 group. Yeah, we have the top 8 amigos here. This is the Super Bowl spectacle of the tennis. It's one of the biggest tournaments in the world. It's the second biggest tournament after the Grand Slams. And the best player on tour the best player that has collected most points on the ATP tour. The best 8 guys has qualified for this tournament, and we have familiar faces as usual when this tournament is on. We have no next gen players here if you count out the other ones that have won this tournament before, like guys like Tsitsipas and Zverev. They are not next gen players anymore in my eyes. They are not juniors anymore. They are super professionals like all the players at the ATP Tour, but they are with the big boys now. And we have seen many great finals here. Personally, to me, the 1996 final between Pete Sampras and Boris Becker is the best final I've witnessed, that I watched. It was a 5-set epic battle that you can find on YouTube if you want. At that time, they played the finals best of 5 sets, and that match really had everything. And actually, Andre Agassi is the only guy that has won the World Tour Finals, an Olympic gold, and all of the Grand Slams. But if Novak Djokovic wins the Olympic gold medal and Federer does the same, they have the same achievement, and the same for Rafael Nadal if he wins here, because he has never won here. And this year, I hope we will see great tennis as we saw the last year. The best match last year was the group stage match between Novak Djokovic and Dominic Thiem. It was a 3-set epic battle that Dominic Thiem won. And then the final was also a thriller that Stefanos Tsitsipas won in three sets against Dominic Thiem, and lifted his biggest trophy of his career so far, and he has 5 titles to his name, Tsitsipas. But this year, it's due to this COVID-19 virus, it's a different season, as we all know. But now the big guys are here. I'm gonna go into the guys in the group, Tokyo group. We have Novak Djokovic, we have Alexander Zverev, we have Daniil Medvedev and Diego Schwartzman. And in the London 2020 group, we have Rafael Nadal, Dominic Thiem, Stefanos Tsitsipas, and Andrei Rublev. Those are if you look at the paper, the best players that you can find out there, except Roger because he's injured, like you all know. But these guys really deserve their spot because all of these players have played good this year. But Tsitsipas and Schwartzman are the only ones that haven't won a title this year. But they have done some great results through this year, so they've deserved this spot. I'm sorry. I think Tsitsipas won a title at Marseille this year. So Diego Schwartzman is the only guy that hasn't won a tournament, but yet he has qualified. He has done a great performance this year. So let's go into these 8 guys. I'm gonna go into the first group, that is the Tokyo group, with Novak, Daniil, Alexander, and Diego. Those guys are battling for 2 spots in the semifinals. And who will I think will advance from this group? Let's go into the players first, and then I will give my opinion of what I think. We have Novak Djokovic, the world number 1, the guy that had won this tournament 5 times. He won 2008, his first time when they played at Shanghai. And then he won 4 straight tournaments from 2012 and 2015. Here, I think he have lost 2 finals also here. And he has won 4 titles this year at Australian Open, Dubai, Cincinnati, and Rome. And he defaulted himself in the US Open, as you all know. He lost to Rafael Nadal at the French Open. And fast courts like indoors and Australian Open surface are great for Novak Djokovic. He likes that kind of surface. It's his cup of tea, even though he's the most complete player of all time. When you play fast courts, that's where Novak Djokovic has done his best results through his career. Just look at the past records and you will clearly understand what I mean. So Novak Djokovic hasn't won this tournament since 2015. And the guys that I won after him in his 2016 was Murray. I think he lost that final against Andy Murray. He lost. And then in 2017, Dimitrov won. And in the final of 2018, Djokovic lost against Zverev. And last year we saw Tsitsipas win over Dominic Thiem. So Novak hasn't won this tournament for almost 5 years now. He's out here to surpass Roger Federer's record of winning 6 titles here, and Roger won 5 times, exactly like Novak Djokovic. He's here, and he means business as always when this big tournament occurs. So Novak Djokovic, I think, is a strong name as usual. We can count on him. He is here to collect the title. We know that Novak Djokovic is, when he plays his best tennis, he's unstoppable. Nobody can stop him, to be honest. And then we have Daniel Medvedev, the guy that woke up late this year. He won his first title at the Paris Masters, where he defeated Alexander Zverev. He played the semi-final at the US Open, where he lost. I think he lost against Dominic Thiem there. And he hasn't done super great result this year. But his performance at Paris showed that he's warm now. He's showed that why everybody counted him for be the next one of the new next Grand Slam winners in the futures. So Daniel Medvedev did a strong performance at the Paris Masters, and the level that I saw in the semi-final and final reminded me immediately of last year when he was this ball machine. Because if you look at Daniel Medvedev's playing style, he has great returns. He moves okay for a tall guy. He moves great sideways. He's a ball machine that has great shot tolerance. He barely misses the ball. He has a great serve. He has flat backhand with barely non-spin. A great forehand with great power. And of course, his playing style is very difficult for his opponents to handle, because he barely misses. He's a party crasher. He's destroying he neutralizes his opponent's game by being that ball machine that sends everything away that his opponent sends to him. So that's why he's hard to hit through. He barely makes mistakes. He has a great serve, a great solid backhand and forehand. His return have getting better. He stays far behind the court, so he has time to swing and replace the point into the court. And when the ball's in play, there are a few guys that can out-hit him and hit through him. So if he plays like he has done in Paris, he will sure be very difficult to beat. He will reach deep in this tournament. And then we have the other guy on this group, the third guy. Then that's Alexander Shasha Zverev, the guy that has won 2 titles this year at Köln, both of them before Paris Masters. He reached the final of US Open, where he lost to Dominic Thiem. He reached the semi-final of Australian Open, where he lost to Dominic Thiem. And this tournament is suited for Alexander Zverev's huge game. He won this tournament in 2018. He has a huge serve with powerful ground strokes, and he gets many free points from his serve. He has developed his game. He's comfortable for the baseline, and he has actually started to take a step into the baseline and won many free points, because his problem before, like I told you in many of my previous videos, was that he gets too passive. He doesn't take commando, he doesn't take the charge of the points from the baseline, and that's why he makes those crucial mistakes. But now he has played very smart lately this year, and actually he thinks more, he's more tactical now than before. So Alexander Zverev is a guy that has really developed his game, and a Grand Slam victory, in my opinion, is just knocking on the door for him. So he will probably win in the future if he doesn't go back a couple of steps in his game. But I don't think that he has a great coach now in David Ferrer. He has given him confidence and probably helped him a lot. But the racket is in the end the racket is in Sasha Zverev's hands, and he has shown that he is great. The loss against Medvedev, he was tired, he ran out of gas. Medvedev played too solid, too low margin tennis for him to hit through. So he went toe to toe in the first two sets, but in the third set, Medvedev was just good for him. And then we have the fourth guy, Diego Schwartzman, has never won a title this year. He struggles 0-5 head-to-head against Novak, 0-4 against Medvedev, and the head-to-head against Zverev, I think it's 2-3 or 2-2, I forgot. But Diego, he has collected most of his points on clay. He doesn't he can play, he's an all-round player, but he's actually more of a clay player in my opinion. These fast surfaces doesn't benefit his games. It's not his melody in my opinion, but just look his defeat at the US Open, the medium, slow, hard courts there didn't give him any fruit. So he lost that match early. I forgot who he lost, but it was an early crash out for him. But he lacks of weapons, like a big serve that is very necessary to get 3 points. It's a fast surface. He moves great on court, but I don't think it's easier to hit through him than on clay, because on clay he has a movement, he has the stamina, but it doesn't reward him as much as indoors or hard courts, fast courts. So that's why I think Schwartzman will be the guy that will end up in the last spot in this group. And then we have the London 2020 group. We have the world number 2, Rafael Nadal, who has won the French Open recently. We saw how he demolished all of his opponents. He didn't drop a set. He beat Novak, he bageled him. And earlier this year in January, or maybe it was in February, he won Acapulco. He has 25-5 this year in matches. He lost against Goffin, Schwartzman, and he lost against Zverev and Novak Djokovic, and who was the other guy? I forgot. But anyway, Nadal is here to win, as he always. He's the guys, of all of these 8 guys, he's the guys that he's the one that never beats himself. Less guy that beats himself, and he's the guy that puts furious pressure on his opponent from the first to the last point. But his forehand spin doesn't bite as much as it does on clay. On these fast courts, it doesn't bounce as high as on clay. You will have his high spins on your striking zone. That's why if you have a great serve, you can actually beat Nadal with a great serve where you get many free points. and huge ground strokes like Zverev showed in the Paris Masters. Like he has when you beat Nadal, you have to hit through him. On clay, it's almost impossible. We have seen them through the past years, but on faster surface, he's not inhuman. You can beat him, but if you look at this group, he has Dominic Thiem, he has Stefanos Tsitsipas, he has Andrei Rublev. All of these guys are not huge servers, except maybe Rublev. He has a great serve, bomb serves. Tsitsipas has an okay serve. He goes more for the spots, more for the angles. The same with Dominic Thiem. He put pressures with hard pressure with his first serve, but second serve is based on spot serving and put out his kick serve to get his opponent out from the court. So Rafael Nadal, this group suits him very well. All of his opponents are great opponents, but he has 9-5 against Dominic Thiem. He has only met Rublev one time, and that was in the US Open 2017, where he destroyed him. He is 5-1 up against Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas' only victory came at clay at Madrid. It was a semi-final. So Nadal, I don't know. I think he will advance from this group, to be honest. And then we have Dominic Thiem, the world number 3, the French the finalist from last year. He won his maiden Grand Slam this year at US Open, and he lost the final in the Australian Open against Novak Djokovic. He has 2 finals this year. I think he hasn't won a title this year, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe him and Schwartzman are the guys that have never won a title. But anyway, he has lost 2 finals, and those were in Grand Slams. He defeated Djokovic and Federer last year on his way to the final, where he lost this epic final against the young Greek. And he won his first Masters at Indian Wells hard court. So that's a testimony of how much this former clay court specialist has increased and developed his game outside clay. Because even if the ball here at the Nitto finals, we saw last year, it bounced like here for Dominic Thiem. And he is such a great mover, he's a physical player. It gave him time to execute his huge swings. The ball was perfectly in his striking zone. And when you hit those swings with these big cuts, like Wawrinka, on a good day, we all know that Dominic Thiem is hard to beat. But he does too many unforced errors still does too many unforced errors. He has a great serve, he has developed his returns. He protects the baseline and the mid-court better than anybody except Djokovic and Nadal. So it's a reason why he's the world number 3 player. And then we have the champion from 2019, the last year. Stefanos Tsitsipas, who has won a title at Marseille this year. He lost in Dubai and Hamburg this year also. He hasn't looked at rock solid like last year, but he reached the semifinal at French Open, where he gave Novak Djokovic a run for his money. Can he replicate his great performance from last year? I don't know. If you look at the past results from last year, the last time a player won this World Tour Finals back-to-back was Novak Djokovic, and that was 2014 to 2015. I don't see any of these guys, especially Tsitsipas, to win this tournament back-to-back. And he has. But you never know which side he wakes up on, because the last couple of weeks he has been training, practicing, he has taken it easy a little bit, but I don't know. You never know with these next-gen players, the former next-gen players. The only thing we know that Novak and Rafa always delivers in tournaments, and Dominic Thiem has been rock solid. We have seen Medvedev, we have seen Zverev. But my opinion about Tsitsipas' status, it can be either up here or down here. You never know until he enters the tournament. The first matches are crucial. We'll see where he lands after the first match. But he has a chance like everybody else. And then we have the player that has done great, the best great. He's the guy that has developed most this year, and that's Andrei Rublev. He has won titles at Doha, Hamburg, Adelaide, Vienna, St. Petersburg. He reached the quarterfinals of both US Open and French Open. The guy that has improved most to me, he has this huge, one of the best, actually the best working forehand on tour right now. He has great movement. He moves smooth on the court. He has huge powers from both his wings, mostly from his forehand. And if he can keep up his big serve through the tournament, he will be a force to count on. But now he's with the big boys, top-notch guys. He has beaten these guys before, of course, but I don't know. He has won 2 matches against Dominic team and 2 against Tsitsipas. So we will see. He's definitely not a guy that you swipe aside. He can cause some up damages in this tournament. Okay, now I have gone through to the players, but who do I think will get through from this group? If I start with the first group, the Tokyo group with Novak Djokovic, Daniil Medvedev, Alexander Zverev, and Diego Schwartzman. Diego, I don't think he will advance. He doesn't have the necessary game for this fast indoor tournament. I'm sorry, he can prove me wrong, but I don't see him get through. I think that Novak will cruise his way, but it's so super hard to predict. When I saw the draw, I was confused. Even before the tournament, I was confused because we have seen the result at French Open. We saw the result at ATP Masters at Paris. We saw at Cincinnati. We saw at Rome. It's very hard to predict. It feels like these other guys are stepping much closer to these big 3 guys, except at French Open, where Rafa seems unbeatable. And by all means, he's the best player on that surface, without a doubt. No, we don't have to go into that, but on faster surfaces, he's more vulnerable. We saw at Paris Open where Sasha defeated him with his huge serve. But to beat Rafa, you can't play good for 1.5 sets. You have to play 2 great sets, and that's what Zverev did. So I think that it's difficult to choose here between Medvedev, Novak, and Zverev. Based on my gut feeling, I think that Novak and Medvedev will advance, but who will win the group? That's the problem. Who will beat the top name from the London 2020 group? That's a tricky question here. I will have to think about that. But from the London 2020 group, I think that Nadal and Thiem will advance. And Thiem can definitely take Rafael Nadal out in the group stages. And that means he will face the second guy in the group, in the Tokyo group. So my head is mixed. Will it be Nadal Djokovic in the semifinal? Will it be Thiem Medvedev in the semifinal? Or will it be Djokovic against Thiem in the semifinal? Or will it be Nadal against Thiem? I'm sorry, Nadal can't meet him, of course, not in the semifinal. But will it be Nadal against Medvedev, Nadal against Djokovic, or will it be Thiem against Medvedev, or will it be Thiem against Djokovic? That's the $1 million question, folks. So hard to predict. I don't want to keep this video any longer, but if I will have to say right now who will go to the semifinal, I think that Djokovic will defeat Schwartzman. I think that he will have a difficult time against Zverev, but I think he will prevail. That's the key important match. Novak meets Schwartzman in the first match, I think, in that group. And the first match on Sunday, it's between Dominic Thiem and Zverev, the matchup from the last year's final. I think that team will want a revenge. If he wins the first match, he has a huge advantage. Then we have more comfortable going into Rafa, because Rafa starts against Rublev, a guy that he should beat, in my opinion. But I wouldn't be surprised if he loses that match or he drops a set. As Schwartzman against Djokovic, he has never lost against him in the 5 meetings. I don't think nothing will change this time either. So Novak will have a great advantage into the last 2 matches, and that's why I think he can play maybe on results also, either take set from both Medadev and Zverev, still lose but can advance anyway. So I think that Novak will advance together with Daniil Medvedev, who, when I saw at Paris, has reached his almost peak level, his very scary level that he shows, because he beat Zverev physically and mentally on court in that match. He showed that I'm gonna compete for the title at ATP Masters in the World Tour Finals. Zverev, he has the weapons. Can he be consistent from the baseline and not out-hit him? He will sure have a huge chance against both Dominic, against Zverev and against Medvedev and Djokovic, of course, because I think that he will beat Schwartzman without a problem. So I think that Medvedev and Djokovic advance to the semifinals. From the London group, I think that Nadal and team will advance. I think that Dominic team will beat Tsitsipas in the first round and almost secure his place. He will take his seat into Rublev, and if he beats Nadal, that's huge. He will be the favorite in this tournament then. And on to the semi-final preview. I'm going to go into that later. I will start with this. I will not, because really my head is very mixed up. I have difficulties of saying who will advance, but I think that Medvedev and Djokovic advance to the semi-final. They will get through the group stages, and Nadal and Dominic team from the other group. And who will dismantle who will oust who will be the dark horse here? The dark horse in this tournament is, I'm gonna go with one guy, and that's Daniil Medvedev. No, I will go 2 guys: Daniil Medvedev and Alexander Zverev. Those are the guys that has showed that lately. If you look at the recent results, I think that those are the guys that really wants to win this tournament. Every of these 8 candidates want to win, of course. They're not here to on sightseeing. They're not here on it's not a free tour. But I think that Rublev, Tsitsipas and Schwartzman are the guys that has the least chance to win this tournament, because in the end you have to choose someone. And who are the guy that has the most chance of winning this tournament? It's between Novak Djokovic, it's between Nadal, it's between Dominic Thiem and Daniil Medvedev. Those are the guys that are competing for the title together with Zverev. I have gave my prediction from the group stages. I will not give an answer about who I will win. I will do that later on to the tournament, because I can drop a name, but this time I will do it this way. Usually I have my preview. I say who will gonna win the tournament. I go stage by stage from the first, second, quarter, semi, and to the final. But this time I will go with the candidates that advance from the group stages. I told you earlier my picks, and I think that will do. And this super event, the last event of the year, that is creme de la creme of the top 8 players. I only miss Roger so much in this tournament because he is a joy to watch on these indoor tournaments. But if he doesn't play, he doesn't deserve the spot. These tournaments are for the guys that have deserved their spots by collecting ranking points. And that's all for today, guys. I hope you watched this video. Take care and bye-bye.